So one of the most important things is setting up the ins and outs of your audio so you can record and hear playback correctly. Okay, from this point on, now you know the hardware that you will need to connect. Okay, from this point on, now you know the hardware you will need to go ahead and connect everything to record. But now we need to know what software options we need to have, that way our hardware is in sync with the software. So we have a GarageBand session already open. Let's go ahead and go to the top left corner and just click on GarageBand. This opens up, if we go down to the preferences, click on preferences, and that opens up the general options that we have. Now we're going to slide over to audio and /MIDI, and this gives us the options that we want for our inputs and outputs. As a general rule of thumb, you want your outputs and inputs the same. So whether it's from the built-in inputs and outputs within a Mac computer, or if you have an external audio interface, then you usually want the input and the output the same. So let's go ahead and look at that. The audio output currently I have is selected is the built-in output. Since I do have an audio interface, which is the Sapphire 6 USB, I would want to select that just so the audio is in sync versus coming in and going out, and you don't run into any issues. Now it says change audio driver. Do you really want to change? And you just hit yes, and then it takes like a couple seconds for GarageBand to switch over, and it's as simple as that. And the same goes as for the audio input. So you just want to select Sapphire, and of course if you're using the built-in input or built-in microphone, just select whichever one, and then you'll get the same option, change audio driver. Just hit yes. Now this bottom section, the keyboard sensitivity, is for your MIDI controller. Now that's depending if, let's say you're playing a piano part or any instrument really, and you're not getting enough dynamics, which is velocity, and the harder you hit it, the instrument isn't getting louder the harder you hit those keys. You can control the keyboard sensitivity with this slider. So if you want it more or less sensitive, you can change that to your preference. As of right now, I'm going to switch the audio inputs and outputs back to what I had it to, which was Sapphire 6 USB. Yes. And the audio output built in. Hit yes. I have these set up as different because making this video, it'd be a little contradicting if I have it set up and as the same input and output. GarageBand would take my audio, so that's the reason, pretty much the only reason why I would have this set up right now. But there you go, that's how you set up your ins and outs.